The Day We Stopped Asking Why by Changing Winds. I was 17 when the towers fell, too young to vote, old enough to bleed for a flag I still didn't understand. The smoke reached every screen, every church, every classroom, and suddenly the sermons sounded like battle plans. The news anchors preached in red, white, and rage. They told us it was us versus them, Christian versus Muslim, freedom versus fear. They never said poor versus powerful. They never said brown bodies overseas would carry the weight of our grief. They never said we were being baptized in oil, confirmed in vengeance, made holy by headlines. I joined the Navy like so many of us did, not to kill but to protect what we thought was good. But no one told us the good was for sale. That the same people shouting never forget would forget our names when we came home broken. They taught us to pray before every mission, but never taught us how to unpray what we'd seen. And somewhere in that silence, I started to question not just the war, but the word. The Bible they wrapped in camouflage, the Jesus who somehow only blessed our bombs. The pastors who spoke more about evil out there than healing right here. The Christians who cheered death like it was a touchdown. And I realized this wasn't faith, this was theater. A nation mourning on cue and selling tickets to its next crusade. They told us to hate what we didn't understand, told us to trust a God who looked suspiciously like the president, told us to silence others so we could feel chosen, told us to burn bridges and call it security. But I am not a soldier anymore. I am not a prophet of empire. I am not a patriot of lies. I'm a child of fire and fracture, a grandson of warriors, a witness to both faith and fallout. And on this day, I remember not just the towers, but the towers of truth that fell after. The families torn, the countries bombed, the kids like me sold a story that left us empty. So this 9/11, I don't light a candle, I light a warning. That fear is the easiest God to serve, and sometimes the hardest one to walk away from, but I did. And now I walk toward truth. Not because it's easy, but because the smoke never cleared. We just stopped asking what was behind it. 9/11, in memory of. We remember the people, not the headlines, not the politics. The people who brushed their kids' hair that morning, grabbed a coffee, kissed someone goodbye. They were Christian, Muslim, Jewish, atheist. Old hands with wedding rings worn thin. Young hands still learning to tie a tie. Calloused hands that built the city. Gentle hands that held newborns the night before. They spoke in accents from every corner of the earth. They dreamed in 100 different ways. In one moment, the world knew their names, and in the next, their stories were buried under fire, steel, and flags they never chose. But they are not rubble, not smoke, not the war that came after. They are the faces in our photographs, the laughter caught in old videos, the empty chairs we still set at the table. And so today, we don't light a candle for vengeance. We light it for them, all of them. Every smile, every voice, every heartbeat that should still be here.